Hey, Daily Dosers. My name is Junior of the Great Joy of serving the high school students up at our Temecula campus. 6 years ago, I told myself I would never do this. I was working at a Christian camp, and it was a perfect fit for me. I was able to be loud and obnoxious like I was in school, and I ended up hitting it off with one of the schools that came up. They asked me to speak at one of their graduations, and I was so fired up. I love to talk. I could talk anybody's ear off, and I thought, yes, I can do that. Sign me up. You guys are amazing. And so I got in the car with my wife, and we headed up to LA 2-3 weeks later. And she began to ask me if I was nervous, was I excited, how I was feeling. And I was so stoked because I had this joke that I was sitting on for the longest time. And I knew that once I get up there, that's what I was going to do. And she said, well, don't you have anything else prepared? I thought, no, I'll just land that joke and then I'll talk for 2-3 minutes, pray, get out of there. And she's like, I think you should really write something down. I thought, nah, I got this. And so we get to the school, and gets really embarrassing after this. We get to the school, and I watch my wife start recording me when I get up there. And I go, and that joke absolutely lands. I'm like, yes, I'm in my zone. What immediately followed after that was a train wreck. I watched my wife go from keeping her phone up to slowly start dropping it down. I was fumbling my words. I couldn't get anything across. The only thing I could do was pray and wish them the best in their upcoming years. And I thought, never, ever am I doing this again. And in that time, the Lord kept working with me. He kept opening doors that I really wasn't comfortable walking through. It started off with something small like greeting that led into leading life groups, and life groups ended up being something I enjoyed, and student ministry ended up being one of those things. And so the Lord kept opening these doors, and when I got an opportunity to lead for high school, I thought, there's no way I can do this. And so there was a year where I kept getting this verse that was spoken by Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, that says that, but Jesus said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. And so I began to really lean on this, that if this was God's plan for me, that it would be through God's strength that would keep me going in this, and it wouldn't be any strength of my own. In fact, I got to the point where I realized the only thing that I bring to the table right now is obedience. And so Spurgeon put it the best. I was at a leadership conference when I was really struggling with this, and they used Charles Spurgeon's quote for this passage, and it said, Spurgeon goes on to say that Jesus doesn't ask for our power. He has all of that on his own. He asks for our weakness because he has none of that. And so that is something that I began to really build my confidence around, that it is my obedience and my obedience alone that is going to keep me in ministry, allow me to use my gifts. So I know that for those of you who've been walking with Jesus for some times, that you know that holiness or your gifts don't happen overnight. It is looking back from 5, 10, 15 years of following Jesus that we get to see the life change and the growth that has happened. So here's my encouragement for you, church, that you wouldn't let one disappointment keep you from what God is calling you, and that you would trust in him who is able to do far more than you could think or ask. We'll see you next time.